So, welcome everybody to the Season 4 Town Hall. We have Zoser and Cruz from Sky Mavis with us to give us a little bit more information on some of the new features and changes that we'll see going into Season 4. Now, the first question I have for both of you is, when is Season 4 actually going to start?
That is going to be in about 24 hours. I think 25 and a half to be exact.
Wow. Okay. So, getting ready for season 4 was a bit of an understatement. It is just one day away.
Yeah,
That
no, it's
is
it's really soon. It's like right here. Exactly.
that is amazing. All right. So yeah, buckle your seatbelts, everybody. Strap on your boots and hit the ground running because we only got 24 hours before things are going to start getting hectic again. Now, have there been any changes to the length of the season?
There I have. Sorry. So I want to make sure everyone knows who we are, right? Because normally we start with intros, and we kind of skipped over that.
Oh,
I
my
just didn't know
apologies.
how to go back and us go through those.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So I'm Ryan AF, Axie faction. I'm going to be moderating the town hall today, and I'm joined by Zoser and Cruz from Sky Mavis. And if you guys want to say a little bit about yourselves.
Cruz, why don't you go first this time?
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, so my name's Cruz. I've been on the team. Oh wow, 7, 8 months now since September. So after AxieCon, so I missed all the fun everyone has and all the great memories. But yeah, I work mostly directly with the engineers. I'm here in Vietnam with a lot of the folks here on the ground trying to make Origins and Axie as a whole, kind of work and coordinate a lot of the pieces from a product side and help build and develop a lot of cool features that we're going to talk about today, for season 4 and beyond. So that is me. That is my job. And Zoser, you can go next, I guess, as is just
That's a standard policy. Actually, you know what? Funny enough, this is like my 1 year right now, like today.
Oh, shut up! Congrats.
Yeah, no, it literally is. That's crazy. So yeah, I've been
Wow.
on the team a year. I was obviously thrilled to join. Still thrilled to be here. Brought on as the live ops lead. And so for those of you who just kind of don't know what live ops is, it's sort of managing like the day to day or the week to week of what's going on. So when you see those daily login bonuses pop up or the contests we've been running like B splits or just kind of random new ideas to keep the game fresh while other people are heads down building, that's sort of what live ops is. And so yeah, I've been having a blast doing that. And yeah, we just finished up that B splits, the race. I saw some pretty good feedback. I think we're gonna be doing more races, but yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, I guess between Zoser and I, we are two sides of the everything coin. So if there's something in Axie or Origins, it'll be between the two of us, I guess. So
Yeah.
glad we could join.
So, pretty much the two most qualified people to be answering these questions today.
Yeah, just these specific questions. Yeah.
Anything about Axie Origins for sure. So we already found out that the season will be starting in just over 24 hours, which is absolutely crazy. But I do want to jump back to that previous question. Have there been any changes to the length of the season or length of the eras within the season?
Yeah, there have. So, for those of you following the off season and or listening to my AMA on Berlin stream or just kind of hearing rumors about this potential 222, meaning a 2 week rare era, a 2 week epic era, and a 2 week mystic era, that is official. So it's going to be much more evenly distributed now. Um, just thought it'd be better that way. Kind of mix it up a bit. We like to make changes each season, and a lot of people really enjoy the rare era, and it's kind of a different audience that sometimes gets to race to the top or kind of gets to succeed, and the mystic can be kind of tough. So we're gonna see how we like it this season. So we're gonna mix it up and do a 2-2-2. So expect 2 weeks of each era lane.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like each era itself brings with it its own meta, and I can even imagine breeders focusing on specific Axie breeds for just the rare era or just the epic era. So to have a little bit more time to really spread your wings there, I think is great. Now, how about the AXS rewards for this new season? How will that be broken up?
Yeah. Good question. So I will actually show those in a sec because this is one of those things that kind of needs a visual aid. But we've kind of done what we did last season. Um, well, in two senses. The first is that the total amount of AXS being distributed is basically the same. I believe last season it was 112,000. This season it's like 111,700. So it's basically the same amount of AXS. But just like last season, a little bit of AXS has been taken from some of those top, 10 spots and kind of distributed a little bit more evenly. It's nothing too extreme, but again, it's one of those things where if you're finishing, between 11 to 100th place or even in the top 500, you should be getting a little bit more AXS on average. We just think it kind of casts a little bit wider net. It should feel better for more people. So let me kind of show you how those look. But that's basically the play.
I think that's a great change. Now, if anyone is listening to this after the fact, maybe on YouTube, then you can actually go back to the view-only chat, and all of the resources from this talk today will be posted in that chat, and they'll live there forever.
Yeah, so I'm posting it now, which I also just reminded myself of something pretty crucial, and this connects sort of the era length with the AXS leaderboards. As you'll notice, and I don't know how closely you paid attention to it last season, but last season the distribution actually had 50% of the AXS in the Mystic era, and we've taken 5% of that and moved it to the Rare era. So since the Rare era has a longer time frame, and also just to mix things up, we put a little bit more AXS in the Rare era. So it's a little more evenly distributed now, and we're kind of going to feel how that goes and see how it goes this season.
I love it. Are there any additional rewards for the top leaderboard placements? Any new borders or avatars that they get to show off?
Yeah, actually there are. So I'll show you them right now. So the first thing is, and some of these I forget even how we came up with them. Sometimes on Twitter you guys will like have an idea about something or DM me and be like, oh, we need like this emoji, and I'll like literally take it to heart. So definitely keep the ideas coming. I definitely check Twitter every single day, and so when you guys at me or at Cruz, it's much more likely to get read. And I love reading like random ideas about stuff, like, oh, we need this type of emoji or whatever. So I'm pretty sure this one was inspired by something like that. So the first thing is actually going to be this sorry, which I think is pretty hilarious and also like sort of toxic if used in the right way during a battle. I don't know how people are going to use this, but he's pretty troll. This is the standard. You get this for reaching chick. Is that
Wonderful.
The second one, or is it egg? Yeah, chick. So pretty much you get this right away. Almost everyone's guaranteed it who just plays, a few games in the season. And then as for the actual leaderboard ones, we've got, as we normally do, a top 20,000 and then a top 1,300. So the 20,000, and this is sort of nostalgic for all you who remember the OP-ness back in the day, is going to be this puffy right here. So this can be earned from reaching the top 20,000. And who knows, maybe Puffy will be OP again one day, I don't know what the world brings.
I love it. It's so cute.
And then this one's kind of an unfamiliar one. He's not one of the ones that gets a ton of attention, but he's going to be brought to light now for the top 1,300. And this gets me thinking directly of all of our Poison players out there, and I know there are many because I watched their streams. This is Victorious Vinoki. So just Vinoki is his name, but we've sort of done this prefix thing. It was actually Cruz's idea, which I love, that anytime we give out an avatar in a leaderboard or a contest of sorts, they get a little special prefix. So in this case, because he's only available for the top 1,300, he is known in-game as Victorious Vinoki, since you must be victorious to get him.
Nice.
So, yeah, you
Vinoki.
can look forward to those. Yeah.
He's a fun one as well.
Very fun.
All right. Now, in terms of ranking up and getting that high placement leaderboard so you can show off your Victorious Vinoki, how do the V-stars, how have the V-stars changed? Has there been any adjustment to how rank is processed, and specifically when bots are faced as well? Because I know that's been a point of contention in the past.
Yeah, I can handle this one. So if you've listened to me talk for the last few months, we've been talking about the new user experience, getting more people on board onto Origins. All of us here in this town hall know a lot of reasons why Origins is fun and are pretty deep into it, but we want to make sure there are ways for more users to come in, get more excited. There's been a lot of ideas and things on Twitter and the Discord. And one idea that's been floating around that we've kind of been inspired from other games for our rank adjustment. So for our rank progression is, I'm trying to figure out how to post things on this view only chat with my boomer brain. Yep. Okay, cool. So rank progression, egg, chicken, hare. So now, nice. Thanks for the emojis. Oh, thanks, Vince. Egg, chicken, hare are now going to be treated as kind of like our training ground. We're changing kind of the holistic themes that each of our rank brings. So egg, chicken, hare, new users come in, and new users every season come in. Now, when you win, you get 20 victory stars, but when you lose, you don't lose any progress. So new users, even when you lose, you don't feel the punishment of dropping in rank, and you're always making a little bit of progression at the beginning of every season. We're trying to tune the game, so you see here that even the victory star increases for boar, wolf, and bear should hopefully push people and make that progress every season, so you feel like you're getting to the rank that you should be. So things get competitive, things get exciting for you every season, and also we are changing it so that bots. A lot of people have been saying, and we've seen a lot of data on new user experience hitting egg, especially at the beginning of season. We know a lot of people in egg are actually quite good, and new users are not that good or experienced. They don't have the best Axies. So now egg is kind of our new and free bracket, we're calling it, so that you are guaranteed to face bots in egg. So you can learn the game, you can learn more clear archetypes of what you're playing with, so you're not just playing against random team comps that don't really teach you about the intricacies of the card game inside Origins, and you're actually learning, hey, these are bot teams, these are kind of the different base play styles that you're facing against, and you use egg to learn. Chicken, hare are kind of our now beginner bracket. We're treating boar, wolf, and bear as our kind of middle bracket. So if you make it there, you're within the average user base. Tiger and dragon is going to be advanced the bracket, and we've seen a lot of value within challenger players with our ELO matchmaking system to have more fun in competitive games, and we're trying to have that be the hub where people, I guess mostly the people in this chat, experience really fun, well-matched games, and will hopefully spend a little bit more time in the upper tiers finding more competitive matches. So yeah, that is hopefully our shot this season to make the new user experience more exciting and easier to learn the game, while also making the competitive experience more competitively fair and well match made. Obviously, this might not be the golden ticket, I guess, or whatever, the best implementation. So we'll be monitoring the data and we're monitoring a lot of your feedback, and we're definitely open for making format changes to this rank system in subsequent seasons. And then also, what was the other thing? Yes, I had another thing. We're also changing a little bit of how decay works. So I find this image, and now I go to view only chat, and I highlight the image, and I drag it over my Discord, and then I click enter.
You've got it.
There you go. Those are good. This is also just a play-by-play on how to use Discord. So our rank decay. So we changed a little bit of how the decay work. Very spicy implementations of decay over the last few seasons, and this is our next shot at seeing what is a good balance of compelling play across all levels without being too overtly punishing. So definitely interested to see how this will shift what our leaderboard distribution looks like and how that encourages healthier play patterns. So yeah, excited to hear everyone's feedback, both verbally and how that plays out in the season. So that is what we're doing with the rank, and I think yeah, that is what we're doing with the rank.
I think that's pretty cool. I can remember starting the season 3 a little bit late, and I've got a couple hundred Axies. I've got a lot of options, and yeah, I hit the ground running, and especially in those earlier ranks like egg and chick, I can remember going up against players that I had no right to be dealing them the beating that I was. So to give them that kind of wiggle room to sort of learn their ropes around the different archetypes is great. And then for most players who's familiar with the game and who have been here for a while, rising up through those ranks will only take a couple of minutes, right? It's not going to be like you're facing bots for like an hour. They're going to be fast matches, and you're going to be rising through those ranks pretty easily. So I think that's all in all a great change.
Yeah,
Now,
sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
One quick one, Ryan. Sorry to interrupt. We're also changing. I realize this isn't in the pictures. We're also changing the amount of victory stars required to go through the tiers. So yeah, to your point, egg used to take. This is not in the picture. It used to take 160 victory stars to get through egg. Now it takes only 100. So you'll be progressing a lot quicker through the earlier ranks, and you won't be sitting with bots for too long. So yeah, good call out.
Awesome. Now I'm seeing a lot of hashtags in the chat. Hashtag what's in the box. And I'm seeing this spammed constantly. Does anyone have any idea what is in the box?
Wait, how are they? What hashtag? I'm confused.
There's in the Axie stage chat. Everyone's posting hashtag what's in the box.
How do they come up with this? I need to know more about this. Okay, interesting.
Nix may have started it. I don't want to say any names.
Oh, that makes more sense. I was like, how? Okay, so anyway, yeah, this makes perfect sense then, and it's a good transition. So basically, on a perfect mix of sort of what we were talking about with new users, and also existing users, and this whole egg thing, there was this discussion about and this, hear me out, it's a little bit of a story, but it all comes together. These non-seasonal runes and charms, right? And as some of the hardcore players know, or even non-hardcore players, there are these things in Origins right now called non-seasonal runes and charms, and you can disenchant them, I should say, unfortunately. And many people, many people like myself have disenchanted their non-seasonal runes and charms, and that's it. You just don't get any more, and that's it. And every season, you sort of feel like you're at a disadvantage because everyone else has these non-seasonal runes and charms. They're like leftover potions and small things. But nonetheless, when you're like bare, naked on your Axie with no runes and charms and other people have them, you feel a little bit left out. So there is... we are putting this kind of what I'm calling a get started box, for lack of a better word. It might be called that in game. We're putting that after you win essentially your first game. So you're going to play, as we said, you're going to face bots in your egg game. And as soon as you win that game, aka as soon as you get out of this egg 4, you're going to get this get started box. And all it is just a bunch of common runes and charms. And the purpose of this is going to be so that you have things to equip on your Axies. So it serves a lot of purposes. The first thing it does is it helps people that have disenchanted their non-seasonal runes and charms a chance to have something. So all players get this. So this will be you'll get leftover potions, you'll get that tough strike rune, you'll get the thick shield rune, you'll get the mini legion rune, you'll get the charm of vitality 1, the charm of power 1. I'll just post it now so you can see. You'll also get 10 random common charms. Everything's going to be common. So you still want to get rare runes and charms. So this whole off-season leaderboard, and of course crafting rare runes and charms, is still incredibly valuable, but at least you have something as a basis to start with as a player, which is a ton of common stuff. So this will not only help all users understand the idea of I need to go and equip my Axies with runes and charms, which is especially good for new users. It's also going to help existing users who come into a new season and be like, all right, cool, at least I have some starting ground, that I'm not just completely naked on my Axies, and I have something to start with and kind of build around as I'm trying to craft rare runes and charms. Because obviously rare runes and charms for the most part are better, especially Charm of Vitality. Charm of Vitality 2 is just better. But it's kind of frustrating having 0 runes for your first battle. And isn't it just feel better to put on some leftover potions and some thick shields when you have nothing else? So it should also help bridge the gap from the people that still have non-seasonal runes and charms as well. So kind of a long-winded answer, but I think this will help all players at the beginning of a new season.
That is absolutely epic, especially for a brand new player just entering into the game and maybe not having as many resources as somebody who's been here for a while. That is so just I guess I would say user friendly. I love it. Now I've heard, this is a weird segue, but I heard that there were some changes going on with the starter Axies. Uh, who can
Yeah,
talk on that?
yeah, yeah. I could. I'm boomerang another picture, but maybe I'll talk about it first. So I realize, Zoser, there are two boxes, and I think the what's in the box is about the mystery box from the
Probably
off
is.
season leaderboard, and not
You're gonna have
the
to wait a little
whole bunch of.
longer for that one.
Yeah, so I can talk a little bit about that one, the mystery box that people are currently uh,
Do it.
fighting for. Yeah. So starter Axies, people we have them. They're fun, and people have always been talking to us as long as I've worked here, as long as I've been part of the Axie community, I guess, about what does vertical progression look like in the Axie world. If you guys have heard Shade talk any time recently, there's a lot of cool things that we're cooking up from the Axie core level that is going to make owning Axies and progressing with Axies very fun and interesting and very exciting in the near coming future. And the Origins didn't want to be left out. So one thing we're going to be trying out and testing out, kind of like a little tech beta test, is what does it look like to uh, upgrade and improve our starter Axies. Now, starter Axies are off-chain Axies, so there's a little bit more wiggle room, and we can play around from a technical level what that looks like without having to commit to very complex NFT Axie changes. So I'm gonna post a little doodad thing. So in season 4, one thing that we're excited to see. This is going to be definitely from a new user level, but something that all of y'all can get involved with as well, is we can now enhance starter Axie parts. So we've created alpha versions of our existing starter Axies, which are kind of like pre-evolved versions, like rookie Digimon or like baby Pokemon, if you will, where it's like Pichu, and they have simpler versions of attacks of the Axies we know and love, which is going to be hopefully a great onboarding tool for new users to come in, and instead of having to learn very complex mechanics like rage and timing rage correctly, they can play Bubba and just deal damage in a very simple way. And eventually, over time, they will collect materials to enhance those parts and promote their Axies to higher level classes. So this is our very first attempt at a deep vertical progression for our Axies. We'll take a lot of the data that we learned from this tool, how well it does to onboard users, how exciting it is for existing users. Maybe there's going to be some learnings and implementations that we can do for how we deeply and vertically progress our NFT personal Axies. But yeah, excited to show this out. Also, this picture, you might notice that Trip looks a little different than what Trip used to look like. So he got a little facelift because we wanted to give him a little facelift. But don't Oleg, Bubba, Puffy, they look the same, so don't get too excited that we changed all of our starters. But we're testing out what are the cool things that we can do with starters to make them truly starters, so that new users can come in, start the game, learn a little bit about Origins, and slowly be exposed to the interesting mechanics and cool play patterns that we have, and upgrade them. So definitely excited to see how you guys react to that. And also, this explains a little bit for what the box is. The box may or not be related to this. I don't even know what we're trying to communicate now or not, so maybe I should have briefed on this before. But yeah, the more mystery boxes you get from this season 3 off-season leaderboard, the better progression you'll have for your starter Axies season 4. So yeah, this is cool. Definitely really the first big swing of all of the many features we were talking about to make Origins more accessible for new users, make it more interesting and exciting. Maybe your friends, your family can't or don't want to bite the bullet and buy a team of great Axies. We're going to give them a fun and interesting experience to play within Origins as a free-to-play player, even still. So this is the first of many big features that we have planned for the year. So hopefully that's exciting. Hopefully people like that stuff. So yeah, that's it for me.
Oh, a bit of a leak there. So nothing confirmed, but yeah, hold on to those boxes for now. because apparently they're gonna help out in season 4. I absolutely love the new look for Trip. It looks like he's went full beast mode. He's gone fury mode. He almost looks like a sumo wrestler in my opinion. Man, I am so excited to be able to upgrade my Axie's body parts and start to get involved in that realm. Or is this sort of like a testing ground for how evolutions will work in the future among different Axies as opposed to just starters?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and to be clear, like there's a lot of the technical complexities of what we're doing right here versus the technical complexities of making sure that all people's owned Axies can evolve is magnitudes different. But yeah, this is going to lead us to have a lot of insight on what that larger full system would be, which is something that we're building out very shortly. So yeah, this is kind of the theme for the last few seasons. We're just going to put some stuff out there, always shipping. We want to make sure things are there, things are exciting and engaging, but also they help allow the community, you guys, to help us inform the direction that Axies should go and what that upgrading and evolving or whatever of Axies actually comes out being.
That's super exciting. I know I've been waiting for evolutions for a while. I know everyone else is super hyped on it. So to finally get something in the roadworks is it's leaving me goosebumps. Now, over season 3, we've got a lot of experiments with the daily login bonus, and I think a lot of people really love it. It gives people a little bit more motivation to log in every day and collect that little reward. And is that something that's going to be continuing moving forward?
Oh yeah, it's continuing in full force. And actually, I know what you guys are thinking after watching that last image. You're thinking, how do I get more of those materials to like level up my Axie and enhance it and promote it? And I've got the solution. It's in the daily login bonus to start. And I promise you, this is not an image of a spreadsheet. This is a very good looking image. It is not just a Google sheet that's copy pasted or something sloppy. It is very beautiful to look at, and it is live in the view only chat. So yeah, so we're going to mix it now that we have this sort of new materials, if you will, because for the longest time in Origins, as you guys have known, it's basically been like, we can give you moon shards, we can give you SLP sometimes, we can give you like cosmetics when we have them and stuff, and then like, oh, the moonstones and all that. But now we've got this new stuff we can start distributing, and that is the stuff you need to promote these Axies, which I don't even know how the full thing works yet. I got to go on the test server and play around with this promotion thing more. But yeah, you'll basically be wanting these honor medals is like a big thing you're going to want. And then these class material selection boxes, because each class has its own unique thing to promote. So make sure to log in. What can I say? Just come log in and get some free stuff and do the stuff, and then you'll be good. So that's going to be one of the ways to get them. And there might be some other ways too. It might even be a perfect transition here. Yeah, I believe it is.
What are those other ways, Zoser?
Emmanuel, maybe you know a few things about maybe some other ways in the game that you can get this stuff.
I think that. Oh, go ahead. For it. No. Go ahead. My apologies.
No, it's good. Yeah. So again, we are really building out the feature set for this game. You're watching free-to-play mobile game development unravel in front of your very eyes. So one thing that we don't have that we should have had for a while, and now we're finally getting across to get shipped, is daily and weekly missions. So daily and weekly missions, very core, fundamental aspect of things, of games since games have existed. Contests. Zoser and the team, the live ops team, have built a really great system there that we're like, hey, let's put that inside Origins instead of having to go to app.axie every single day. You guys have probably seen a little bit of the contest UI in the game, and that's laid the groundwork for reasons to come in every day, reasons to come in every week. So now we're adding not only more vehicles in which to deliver things, with the starter Axie upgrades and other features coming through, we're gonna have more interesting currencies and items and rewards to give to people. So hey, maybe you're not the top leaderboard warrior, maybe you're chilling at like 20k ranked leaderboard, and you don't want to push to 10k for whatever reason. There's some daily missions, some weekly missions to keep you interested and excited, to get you some progress and to level up and grow your starter Axies. So again, nothing mind-blowingly crazy, but something that we really believe is fundamental for new users to come in and get engaged, and to stick around so that they can learn the joys of what Origins is, and then hopefully join the rest of us here as the more diehard contingent. So yeah, daily, weekly missions, just the beginning. Live ops in our feature set is growing. I don't know if I've talked about this in the previous town hall, but we have a huge roadmap of just making sure that Origins has the feature parity that we need to make a fully fleshed game where people of all types, of all player profiles, of all player personas, of all player motivations can come into Origins, and have something that they're going to be interested in doing every minute, every day, every week, every month. So yeah, this is our first shot at just compelling progression. So excited to see how this all shakes out too. Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we'll be able to log in every day, check out those missions, find out what they are. We're going to be able to complete them to earn those in-game items, then use those items to upgrade our starter Axies. I cannot wait. I'm pretty excited about that. Now, that is a lot of information on the new starter Axie upgrade system. But what about crafting? Have there been any changes there?
Not much crafting changes, to be honest. It's in a pretty good place, and I think we're really happy with how the Mystic Moment has been going and as went last season. I think the only thing minor coming, and there's really no visual needed for this, it's just something very minor, is that because we're going to be giving more rewards, because there's this daily, weekly missions, and you'll be earning more moon shards, and the rare era is now 2 weeks. The crafting level just changed slightly, where instead of needing level 15 to unlock that intermediate, which I think is what you'll need for by the time you reach Epic Era, you'd have to be level 20. So you need to add 5 levels. And then same for the Master, which is what you need for that Mystic Era. Instead of being crafting level 35, you have to be crafting level 40. I would say this doesn't impact about, 80 or 90% of people here. But for the people that are really cutting it close every season, just make sure you're spending your moon shards, because there's a lot of people that I feel like hoard their moon shards, and that's good. It's good to hoard your moon shards, especially for the Mystic Era. But you have to spend a little bit more now to make sure you're that crafting level. Just something super minor for crafting.
Okay, great. Now with the advent of the Blitz game mode, we saw it a little while back, and then just recently with the Beast Blitz event, which was super fun. We've seen great reception. People seem to absolutely love it, and we even saw players like 1437 saying that he wishes this is how the game was all the time. So how has Blitz mode sort of affected your perception of the game, and are there going to be any changes with this new information?
Yeah, I can think of this one. So yeah, Blitz, again, from the previous town hall, and we've built a lot of technology to set up the infrastructure of Origins so that it's buildable and scalable, and we can do cool and exciting things. Blitz was the first kind of output of that the battle system backend is now stable and things are good, and hopefully everyone's been seeing bugs are reducing, and we wanted to test out, hey, what is the limits that we can push our engine to go? So Blitz was good. Seems like it worked out pretty well. And now one thing we're going to be trying out for the foreseeable future is changing the speed of the game, and we'll really see how this shakes out. So now the regular ranked arena mode will be about 35% faster. Everything. So play that, see how it feels, let us know. And now when we run Blitz, hey, you might be like, hey, Cruise 1.35 or 35% faster, 50% faster is pretty similar. Now Blitz, we're speeding that up even further to be 1.75x speed. Matches should be quicker. We built Origins to be on desktop, but now we are trying to figure out what is a good mobile play pattern, and we know mobile game players like things to be a little bit faster, and just for the game to be faster in general. So yeah, now when everything is Blitz, like nothing is Blitz, but also Blitz is even blitzier. Anyways, so excited to see how it shakes out. Let us know your feedback. Maybe in season 5 we'll be at like 5x speed, and now it's it's hectic and crazy. But just a fun little change we wanted to test, and yeah, hopefully the ranked arena feels fresh and new and exciting this season.
That's awesome. Faster games. I think everyone's going to be happier about that. I don't see anyone talking crap in the chat right now. Seems I think that's a good move all around. So faster games, faster blitz mode, and things might be changing in the future. That's pretty good. So in season 3, there were a lot of contention on Twitter about juggling Axies. So has this been a point that has been considered for season 4, and are there any changes to the policy?
Yeah. So this is something that I think only a very, very, very small amount of players sort of aggressively do, because it was sort of deemed legal, because the rules were unclear in the past about like what is actually juggling, why is it bad, how does this relate to what it means to own your assets. How does this mean for Axies to engage with other games, for example? So in the end, the solution that we're gonna use for season 4, and this will be officially announced soon with like, probably better writing, let's say, or in our terms of service officially, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys now so you know in advance, is it's only gonna affect Origins. I mean, obviously, because that's what we're dealing with here. And the solution that's being used doesn't require any tech, and that's why it's a good one right now, because the last thing we want to have to do is build out technology to solve this when there's plenty of other things to build, right? So what the solution is for season 4 is very simple, and I'll say it and then I'll write it, and it is this. If you have an Axie in your account during an era, so let's just say the rare era starts, and you have your Axies. If that Axie leaves your account, and then it comes back to your account in the same era, then you might be punished and lose your AXS. Meaning, if you're caught, meaning you're reported by another player, like the marketplace shows all your transactions and it shows you went back forth, or back forth, back forth, back forth. If that happens, or if the player conduct team catches you, then you might be stripped of your AXS for that season. Okay, so this only impacts people that are probably really aggressively trying to move the same Axies back and forth between multiple accounts. And more specifically, if you do sell or trade or gift your Axie to another player, then you cannot take that Axie back in that same era and also battle with it. So that's what I want to warn you guys about. This is sort of the quick and dirty solution to sort of just make it so these really, really egregious cases of people where we've seen, marketplace screenshots that have been on Twitter where it's like the same Axie going back and forth and 6 times in a day. We just don't think that's good for Origins. So let me just write out kind of how the wording's looking, just so it's more clear for those of you that are more visual people. And again, this will be more formally announced and added to the terms of service for season 4 in this coming season. Okay, and then we'll evaluate and see what else needs to happen, if anything, for future seasons. This is not a perfect full-fledged solution. This does not mean that we're not saying that other things don't exist that might be potentially unfair, but this is certainly going to solve at least a small part of it. And if we can make any solve, especially with no tech needed, it's a win. So yeah, that's where we're at with Axie juggling.
So just to confirm, you can still gift Axies, you can still sell Axies, but the only problem is if that Axie leaves your account and then comes back to your account.
Exactly. And the person it came back to would be the one that's, sort of at fault here. So you can buy,
right.
As a purchaser, you can still buy whatever Axie you want, whenever you want, and you are totally risk-free. You can browse the marketplace, you can make offers, you can make purchases, and you can immediately use those Axies, no problem. But when you start to go into seller or gifter mode, and now you're going to sell an Axie or gift an Axie, better notate that you don't rebuy your same Axie again in the same era. So, that's the only time it's going to be bad. So if in the rare era, you're like, oh, let me get rid of all these whatever Axies, and then the epic era comes around, you're like, I kind of missed that, I want to buy them back, you're totally fine.
Right, so buying an Axie, gifting an Axie, totally fine. The only problem is if you're giving it away to somebody and they give it right back to you, or if you're selling the Axie and then you buy it right back. So that's a pretty clear thing to track. So I don't think there's going to be too much confusion there.
if there's any issues, like we can always write support tickets or deal with it on a case by case basis, right? We're not trying to look for some weird loophole thing where you sell your Axie, then the guy like stealth gifts it to you without you even knowing about it. It's like, aha, I got you. Like that's not going to be a thing. That's not going to be punished, right? So the gist is there. Read it for what it is, and just be aware that you definitely might be punished if you do this behavior.
Don't juggle Axies back and forth, or you might be forfeiting your AXS. All right. I think that's all of the questions I have for you guys. I might move into the Axie giveaways now. So for the switch to DPoS, there was a Twitter campaign. A lot of people signed up to win either a Japanese Axie or a Mystic Axie. And I'm going to go through those winners right now. So we're going to start off with the Japanese Axie winners. And I've got 10 names pulled up. I'm going to go through both the Twitter handle and the Twitter name. First winner is going to be Michael Benko, or Michael.eth. That's for a Japanese Axie. The next winner for a Japanese Axie is Kenzord, Chomp Squad YGG. Congratulations, Kenzord. Now, our third winner for the Japanese Axie is Tito A from YGG, or Armand. Then our next winner will be Wet Hands 69. There you go. And let's see. For our fifth winner, we've got WKIMROG. The name on Twitter would be W Kim from GS Squad. Our next winner, Mavron, or Axie Maverick. Congratulations. Next up, we've got MVP Doodoo Kid, Gaston Carlo. Congratulations, Carlo. Next up is Pepe Jursek. I apologize if I'm butchering that name, but congratulations, Pepe. Then we have Axie Pass, or Pass Donna. Congratulations, Pass Donna, for your Japanese Axie win. And our 10th and final Japanese Axie winner is Troy Manalato. Manalato? One of those. Congratulations, Troy, for your Japanese Axie.
Ooh, good job,
now,
everyone.
For the final giveaway, the coup de grace, the Mystic Axie winner.
You want me to give you a gem roll?
Give me a drum roll, Zoser. It's not coming
Is it not
through the
translating
audio.
well?
No.
Okay, well, you know what? We tried, we failed. Let's move on to the Mystic.
Let's move on to the Mystic. The name starts with a K. It's Kuya Kevs from YGG. Kuya Kevs, congratulations on your Mystic.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Now,
Congrats.
I do want to let everybody know how to redeem their prizes. But I'm afraid I actually don't have that information. So let me message somebody real quick, and we can I'll get back to you all about that in just a moment. In the meantime, I think we can move on to the Q&As. So if anyone has any questions, you can feel free to throw them in the questions only chat, or if you're feeling brave, you can hop up as a speaker.
Nice stuff reading their names, Ryan. There was some fun names in that list.
There's always fun
wanna-
reading out names from the Twitch chat or Twitter.
So I want to kick this off real quick with something that came up that I already thought of as I was saying it out loud to you guys, which I've already directly DM'd Vantalim, who does all the player conduct stuff, and talked about this idea of, sorry to go back to this Axie juggling thing, I just want to make sure your guys' minds are cleared, of some troll buying an Axie off someone and then stealth gifting it to them and being like, aha, I got you, you're not getting AXS. Not going to be a thing. I'm going to make sure that's accounted for. I'm going to be the opposite of trigger happy when it comes to this stuff. So let's not worry too much about that, okay? So that will be able to be easily deciphered. But but yes, it's a very good call out, and I don't stress too much about it, guys. I promise that we'll be on it.
So, question from Enrico YGG. They're asking if Axie lending is acceptable for the use of tournaments only. So if the Axie is lent to somebody and it is never actually used within the season arena, and then is sent back after the tournament is played, how will that be handled?
Oh.
Yo, hear me? I have an
perfect.
answer. Right before I go to work.
That's what we need. Yes.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to speak to Vandalin. So we're going to create a process. In my opinion, if you land Axies and if you transfer it for tournament purposes, it should be okay. So we just need to document it. If we find out that the Axies were used in rank, and then when you said you transfer the Axies because you wanted to join the tournament, our community protection team will flag that. So I will create a process. We will communicate it in the next couple of days.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. I'm still waiting on the answer for how to redeem the prizes. So just hold tight for that. Zoser, continue, please.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, while he's up here, there's a player that wants to come up and ask a question in Filipino language. I don't know if you'd want to be willing to translate, but it would be the perfect time while you're up here.
Sure.
Whoa. I can't translate. What's going on? Okay.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
sorry.
this is good, dude.
All right, let's pull Cherry Blossom up then and get his out of the way while we have the resources. If he's even raising his hand, I should have asked. Now is your time to shine.
Hello.
Cherry Blossom, you've got the stage.
Narinig ako?
Oo.
Bali, ano lang siya. Napansin ko lang kasi siya sa Origins. And then, parang ano siya, hassle siya, lalo na sa mga players. Recommendation lang, yung pag naglalagay ng runes and charms, alam ko merong nakaka-experience din nito eh. Yung, kunyari meron akong team na for arena, and then nandun na yung mga runes and charms ko, pero kung gusto ko mag-try ng ibang team, kaso kailangan ko alisin yung runes, alisin yung charms, baka meron something idea na pwedeng ilagay doon na kumbaga pwede mo i-disable yung team para yung mga runes and charms na nandun is ma-disable. Tapos pwede mo siya ilagay dun sa bagong team na bubuuhin mo. Tapos kung sakali na gusto mo na bumalik dun sa team na ginagamit mo talaga, is i-enable mo lang ulit yung runes and charms para hindi na siya hassle na tatanggalin mo pa yung runes, tatanggalin mo pa yung charms, and then ililipat mo dun sa bagong team. Tapos kapag lilipat ka naman dun sa dati mong team is ibabalik mo na naman yung runes and charms. Parang meron lang siyang enable and disable button para hindi na palipat-lipat yung runes and charms para hindi hassle.
Okay, let me try to translate that. He was asking if there's a way for us, for example, so if you have this Axie and it's already in a team, right? And then you wanted to try it in a different team, is there a way for us to save the configuration of that Axie in the first team so that he doesn't need to remove all the runes and charms whenever he wants to try a new team? It's just a UX and UI suggestion.
Yeah, I can tackle this one. So you guys may or may not have been told about the esports mode that is going to be shipping with season 4. So we're testing a bunch of these things on. Yeah, we know that there's a huge pain point with equipping runes and charms. The equipment screen UI UX is not the best. It's rooted in more than just a UI thing. It is a back end problem and how we assign runes and charms to Axies. So that's something that we're currently looking at and figuring out a solution for. So no timeline and no promises yet, but it is something that we're looking at and we want to solve because we want to make sure that runes and charms is a very big, exciting part about the Origins core loop, and we want to make sure new users can get access to it, can see it, can play it, can understand it, can collect more runes and charms and not feel overburdened with having to switch between them. So anyways, we hear the concern, we know it's a big deal, and we are trying to figure out a good way to solve it. But yeah, cool. It's a good question. Hopefully that answers it.
And to tackle on, this will obviously be exciting to make race events more exciting as well. Because one thing that sort of pained me deep down, but also sort of added to the interesting, like what skill level you needed to play this race, was how, since there was no loadouts, is what we call them, how the people that did well in the race, because I was watching some of their streams, like Professor Sergio, how quick they had to be with their fingers to go unequip, 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 re-equip, re-equip, enter into the next battle. Like that was part of the game, actually. It was part of the speed game, was how fast you can unequip and re-equip. So obviously having races in the future, once these loadouts eventually maybe one day come into play, will be more interesting, because that way you can just preset all your teams.
Yes, yeah. Loadouts is we'll hopefully find a good solution sooner than later.
Awesome. Thank you for the question, Cherry Blossom.
Okay, thank you. So that's all. Kita-kits na lang tomorrow sa arena. More power sa team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Salamat, inom ka ng tubig.
Nagsasalita ka din na uminom ang tubig. Intense. Thank you guys.
All right. Next, I'd love to bring up AF Fuji. And I'm not just picking him because he has AF in his name, but AF Fuji, I'm bringing you up right now. Hello,
Hey.
hello.
Hello, do you hear me?
We can hear you. What's going on?
Yeah. Hello, guys. I just want to raise the my concern about the timer in game when playing Origins, because players are able to spend all the energy even when the timer is already ended.
So specifically, this is about reducing the timer length, like making it 40 seconds, like everyone's asking for? So
No.
you're just saying in
40
general,
seconds.
people who are like griefing
Yeah,
you and like slow rolling you.
The 40 seconds is already up, and the timer is 0 already, but you can still play cards and use all your energies.
I
To me,
think,
it doesn't make sense.
but aren't you talking about the cards that are already queued, for example? Meaning the user had
No.
already queued those cards to go off, or is this something different?
I think if you'd like me to clarify, AF, I think what he's referring to is the ability to queue up a lot of cards, and then I'm sorry, for the ability for your opponent to queue up a lot of cards near the end of his turn, and then when the turn ends, the other player, their turn timer will actually start before they have the ability to look at their hand. Right, so
Yeah.
the opponent's turn will start as soon as the first player's turn ends, rather than when he actually draws his cards and is able to play. Is that correct, Fuji?
Well, because when I'm playing Origins Arena, my opponent is not moving or not using his energy, and then when the timer gets to 0 and it should be my turn, it's still he still can play cards and use all his energies.
Right.
We'll have Hale Jatster and the game designers, I think, look into that more. But If you ask me at face value, it feels like the player's just waiting until 1 second and then queuing up all his cards, but the animation speed is slower than the queue speed, and therefore you're seeing like 7 seconds of things go off, even though his timer's at 0.
Additionally, when we shipped the blitz mode, we built a new thing where that your current turn timer shouldn't start until all of the animations have resolved. So if you see that your opponent is queuing up 5 cards and then your turn starts with like 50 seconds left, then that's a bug, and please submit it to us and we can try to fix it. But yeah, that shouldn't be the case, that like your opponent's queues are eating into your turn timer.
And the increased animation speed will definitely help out with that as well.
I don't want to get too caught up on this one because we got a lot of questions and not a ton of time. I think we have to move to the next one.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Fuji. Let's move on. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, man. I apologize. But let's bring up Rollo from Sura Gaming Guild. Rollo, I'm bringing you up now.
Hello.
We can hear you. How's it going, man?
Yo. Yeah, sorry, I had some my headphones. I wanted to ask, is there any news on esports grant maybe? And my second question would be if the patch is gonna hit like on, I think it's Thursday, like tomorrow, like is it gonna hit on esports as well? Is it gonna be integrated as well? Because we have tournaments at the end of this weekend, right? So just to make sure.
So the question is, since Season 4 is coming tomorrow, will the Season 4 balance patches be rolled out across the board, or will the esports server still maintain the cards from Season 3?
Exactly. Yes, just to make sure if like the upcoming tourneys are gonna be played on the new season or the old season.
Yeah, Winston, I don't know if you want to talk to that, or you want me to talk about it?
Sure. Tomorrow we will. So when the Season 4 patch drops, we're going to sunset the esports server. So it's going to be in all the tournaments will be held on the main server, and you guys need to toggle the esports mode. So there will be no esports server starting tomorrow when the Season 4 patch drops.
So furthermore, so like that is how we're trying to position it. We're gonna keep the esports server and client available. So we're, as a position, we're gonna try to make everyone play on the production build, like the regular Origins build. There's a new button in the settings that is, I don't know if we've talked about it yet. There's a new button in the settings that it says esports mode, and when you click it, you can now equip all runes and charms to your Axies. Yeah, did we not talk about this yet?
I don't think we announced this. I'm writing it out as you say it so people can read it.
we announced it? Okay, cool. I was like,
starting tomorrow, all tournaments should start using the main server, the esports mode. We're just going to keep the esports server for about a week, in case something happens. But all the tournaments should be held should be conducted in the main server.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And I'm with Meat Value. Can he ask a question as well?
Always got time for meat value.
Let's do it.
Hello, guys. So my question is for this esports server integrated into the normal server. We usually test a lot in esports, right, to scream with each other and stuff. Will we still be able to do that, or we can only access esports mode once we are in a tournament?
Yeah, so for the esports mode, that is just going to be on forever for the time being. It's kind of like our quick way to solve the needs without having to take too much time, because we wanted to make sure that we built out something quick and ready for people to use. So yeah, at any point, even outside of a tournament, you can just turn on esports mode, play with some runes and charms, and then the only feature that should be available, let me know if there are other features that are slipped through the cracks, should be challenging your friends. So yeah, if you still want to run scrims on the production server using any of the available runes and charms with the esports mode, that should be available at any point.
Thank you. That's great.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. That's all for me. Thanks for the space.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rollo and Meat Value.
Rollo.
I'm moving you back to the audience now. Next up, let's pull up Prometheus. Prometheus, I'm bringing you up on stage.
Are you bringing Bob up with him?
Hello, guys.
I don't know if any of you guys got that joke.
No,
Long time
unfortunately.
to see you here.
Dang it.
I think that the last town hall were with different devs. There's a long time I don't see you guys here. I think I already saw you in season 2, season 1, but are you guys hearing me?
Yep,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. It's because some guy said Mike was thinking that I had problems. But all right, glad to be here as always. I am a little bit sleepy, don't mind me. I took some medication, but let's go. We have a question, right? When we are going to be able to decline requests from from offers in the marketplace, right? A lot of people are asking that.
Right,
This
interesting.
kind of steers out of the origins conversation, unfortunately. Like, it's a very important one.
Okay.
This is, yeah, it's just, this is like related definitely to the marketplace and Axie Core and stuff like that. And we might have to follow up on that one with Shade and others. But yeah, this we're trying to keep this just strictly to origins and only origins in that scene for this.
No problems, guys. No problems. Don't worry. I was just questioning because like I have some. I usually wrote down the most asked questions, right? So some were not answered yet. So I tried to pull up these questions, but it's fine. No problem. So the question is, so if we are going to have upgrade systems for our starter axes, let us know how or when we are going to have new starter axes, because I know that a lot of people is waiting for chapter 2 for an adventure mode, and I might think that new axes are coming and they probably will be upgradable too, right?
Yeah, I could talk about this. So yeah, new starters. If you've played against bots in Origins since we've launched, you might have seen other starter axes, and you might have seen them. You can't earn them. We haven't had really systems in the game to distribute them really well. To create new adventure chapters, it's pretty time intensive, and we've as everyone can know implicitly, we focus on making sure that the ranked arena experience is really good, and now we're focusing on that the new user experience is really good. And now that things are kind of settling and the pieces are kind of in place, we definitely have a plan for releasing new starters, and yes, they will be upgradable as well, enhanceable and promotable. The hardest part with releasing new starters is, as everyone is already kind of talking about with our existing starters, there's a very small window of starters being accessible and good without being broken and eating the lunch of our NFT axes. So we're definitely straddling the line with that. And a lot of the starter axes require building brand new parts and cards, which is a lot more complex than just taking existing Axie parts. But obviously we don't want to take too many existing Axie parts, or else we're just cloning an Axie. Anyways, long story short, this is something top of our list. We're prioritizing heavily because we want to make sure that, just like with other card games and other creature battler games, new users can install the game and come in, play with their starters, and also collect more monsters and more cards, because that's a lot of the fun and excitement. So hopefully you should be hearing some new news about that soon at some point. But yes, yeah, new starters, they're coming. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's very cool. I 100% sure that you guys going to make a good job in balancing those things. But still talking about Origins, right? A lot of people are asking about like new balance patches, new changes before the season start, because a lot of people thought that the last patch notes that we had were like just way too simple, way too short. Maybe they are the community is thinking, oh, maybe they are launching like two pet notes, like one now and one right before the season starts. So now that the season is starting, I want to make sure that we all know what's coming.
Yeah, yeah, I see a lot of stuff with the balance stuff. No announcements at this second. We kind of ship things close to the line. So let me talk to the balance team, which is outside of me and Zoser. We kind of work with them, but a little we don't run the balance, I guess. So let me get that to you, and we'll have a formal announcement very shortly of if there's any more. I believe there is no more balance changes. Zoser, do you know offhand? I should know.
I really don't think there's any more, to be honest with you. I
Yeah,
think
I
the
think
the only thing that could come up is potentially rune and charm changes for future eras, because it's sort of in our thing that we agreed on, that like before an era starts, we can always still tweak the rune or charm if needed. So like the epic and mystic rune and charms are not off the table, but I think everything's pretty much locked.
Awesome. I do want to jump in, Prometheus. We are running short on time, so I am going to put you back into the audience after this one. But thank you for the question. All right, next up. Oh, before we actually hop into the next question, I do want to let everybody know that if you were one of our Japanese Axie winners or the Mystic Axie winner, then Nixtape will actually be reaching out to each of those individuals. We have a list of all the winners, so Nixtape will be reaching out to you. Make sure to keep in mind that there are sometimes imposters who will try to sneak into your DMs and get you to release private information. So when Nixtape does reach out to you, the real Nixtape, he won't be asking for your account info or your password or anything like that. So just keep that in mind and look out for that message. All right, so next up, I do want to bring on Lynx, and then we'll bring on Axie Teacher, and that might be it for the time we have allotted. So Lynx, you're coming up now.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
It's a continuation question from like what Meat Value asked for. Like the esports is gonna be on the live patch, right? So basically, I need to delete everyone so they don't expectate me, since I'll be playing screens on the live patch now, right? Since there's no esports mode. Also about the API stuff, there's a lot of sites that can scout the match history from people. So there's like no privacy for like screens and everything and tournament preparations. I want to ask if the beta server is still gonna be there, and if people with API can still like see match history.
Yeah, that is a very good point. Thanks for bringing that up, actually, and something I personally have not considered yet. So we're gonna figure out a good solution. I'll work with the esports guys. This is great feedback. We want to make sure that we want to compete, make sure competitive integrity is high, and that's a really good concern. We don't want people to just spy on people for free. So right now, with our current implementation, I think that would be a thing. It'd be because we're just using, with the esports mode, we're just using the friend challenge system. So whatever currently allows people to look at other people's battles through the friend challenge system should theoretically still see their esports mode friend challenges, and that might not be. We'll figure out a good solution to make sure everyone's happy. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you for the question, Lynx. I'm moving you back to the audience. Axie Teacher, I'm bringing you up on stage. Axie Teacher, welcome.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me? Ayan, there.
We can hear
Okay.
you.
For giving me the opportunity to talk. First of all, the main reason why I raised my hand is, of course, to shout out the small community that we have, the Filipino community, wherein this channel started when all Pinoys were muted during version 2. The general chat PH. Shout out to you guys. Well, my first question will be can you guarantee us that there will be no more adjustment or updates when it comes to in between eras? Now, the second question is there a chance that the breeding time will be lessened to promote more breeders? Kasi since we all know that we are actually now by eras, right? So definitely, if you try to breed something and you're gonna wait for 5 days, imagine if you're gonna breed it like for the first 3 days, it's almost the end of the era if it will be hatched. So those are the two questions. Thank you.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can talk about the first part. I'll talk about second.
Sure. They kind of relate together even. For the first
Sure.
part, I don't think it's ever safe to fully guarantee anything, and I think there's some nuance to this. So the first thing is I think we've done a really good job the past 2 seasons not making any balance changes mid season, no matter how high the pressure felt or how overpowered something felt or how much it was running over the leaderboards. As you saw, the game design team has held their ground and not made the changes during the course of the season to both be fair to the breeders, to be fair to the meta, to be fair to the people that purchased the stuff, whether it was the confusion with the ear, I can't remember the name right now, or all those things. So I think it's pretty safe to count on the fact that there's not going to be changes during the season. That's sort of a thing we go for. I would count on that. But I do want to call a nuance out to that, which is bugs, right? And there have been times historically in Origins where a bug has caused something to be too strong. And if we do have to fix bugs, of course, right? So the nuance to this is if there's a bug and it's a known bug, meaning it's not the way it's described to be on the card, and it's causing something to be either too strong or too weak, and we fix that bug, and that changes the meta, that's just a bug fix, right? So balancing no, bug fixes yes. Hopefully the bugs don't impact the meta too much. So that's my kind of the answer to that.
Oh yeah, and then sorry, yeah, specifically with the breeding thing. So the breeding contract and all the tech around breeding goes beyond just Origins and is Axies in general. So I can't talk too much about that. There's going to be, I'm sure, conversations and announcements about that in the future. But the breeding time is something that we are heavily discussing internally and trying to figure out a way to make sure, yeah, breeding is accessible and interesting and fun and always an exciting time. And so yeah, this pain point of the breeding length and the arrow length is something we are aware of and trying to figure out.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no news right now, sorry.
Thank you, Axie Teacher, for the question. I'm going to move you back to the audience now. I think we do have time for one more, but we got to make it quick. I am going to pull up Android. Android, you're coming to stage.
Hey, good night, guys. How's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for bringing me up. I just had a quick question. I've noticed that the little flasks that we have to like vanish cards don't do anything to Bubble Maker. Are we like gonna change that? Because Bubble Maker doesn't go away.
Yeah, so there's maybe a deeper question for the balancing problem, the balancing team, but specifically for Bubble Maker and Bubble cards, there's a lot of interesting tech under the hood that we're trying to iron out and make really clean for especially for bubbles and all of our statuses, our positive statuses, and our tool cards. So that might, I have to double check, that might be a bug. So definitely reach out to Jatster or Hale and we can log.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if it's a bug. Don't quote me on that. We'll check.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very specific question. Sorry we don't have a hard, fast answer for you. But that is pretty much our time. Thank you so much, everybody, for hopping in here. We got some amazing leaks for Season 4, which is coming in just 24 hours, so get ready. And we also announced the winners for the DPOS migration campaign on Twitter. Congratulations to the winners once more. Thank you to Cruz and Zoser for hopping up here and answering these questions. Do you all have any last words?
Yeah, I'll go first. So really, again, from the very beginning, like it's been really interesting and great working on Origins for the last 8 months, working alongside everyone. We're really building this game in progress with everyone helping us build it together. Season 4 hopefully builds a lot of the infrastructure for the features of the game. And we've seen a lot of success with the community rallying together and helping us understand the balance and the cards and the parts and the team comps and making the archetypes really good and making the game play feel really nice. And hopefully we find the same success with everyone here chiming in for what does progression look like? What does collections look like? What are exciting things that we can get new users, people that have never played Axie before, people that have never even heard about Web3 can come into Origins, play the game, have fun about the Web2 side of things, but also get excited about the Web3 side of things. So season 4, 5, 6, we got some stuff cooking that should hopefully get people excited, and we're excited. I'm always excited to hear what people's feedbacks are, because a lot of that feedback generates a lot of really great insights and really great features that is beneficial for all parties. So yeah, excited for tomorrow and for what the future has in store. That's kind of a long thing, but yeah, it's mine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just really excited for season 4. I played every single day in season 3, and it was exciting. It was painful. It was tilting. It was awesome. I'm very much looking forward to playing season 4. And also, just make sure you guys keep on throwing recommendations. Make sure to follow me and Cruz on Twitter. Like, add us, give us your recommendations, stream, follow streams, say hi. Because I keep saying this over and over, and it's true. But I mean, I really read all the ideas, and so many times events like contests or stickers or even progression changes have been based on a really small idea that someone came up with that planted a seed, and that seed then grew. So I mean, I know we're both very community driven. So yeah, just like keep on being awesome, and please follow us on Twitter, tag us, just get your ideas out there, and yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Your input is valuable, everybody, so please share with us. It helps a lot. With that, I'm going to end it. Once again, thank you, Cruz. Thank you, Zoser. And thank you to everybody in the audience. This has been great, but it's got to end. So we'll see you all next time.
Laters.
Thanks, Ryan. See you.